Welcome back to the Hyperbolic Game Development Chamber. We have exciting daily updates for game dev here, and here we have a truly magnificent differential from the previous days. So, need I say more? Shall we? So, shall we get into the game? There's a lot of changes, so it actually looks much better. So, a lot of changes. I actually got to pause the music for a little bit because, and honestly, I'm just playing a random song because it'd be kind of dry. Actually, no, I have to change the last. Okay, I've returned. So basically, the differential this time is there's been quite a differential created. So many things have changed. I've added lots of game juice to the game, so it's kind of an absolute banger now. So I'm actually going to give it a little play test, so I have to pause the music because I added a lot of sound. So there's quite a few changes, actually. Bullets, the shots are now faster. The text is now monospace. There's been a lot of changes to make sure that there's a word visibility. Lots of bug fixes as well, and this was just in like the past few days. What else is there? Yeah, and I would say word visibility and game sauce are the biggest changes. So I added some more sound effects. So you might be able to hear them, and I'll test them. So you can hear them now. I think you should be able to hear them now. But when you type, the first thing you notice is that the word now is monospaced. So when you type something, it breaks apart the word slowly. I also added more sounds so that you can actually get feedback back when you're actually hitting something, and they're tied together. And this is the other change. When you mess up, right, it's actually really hard to see what word you're messing up on. So what I've implemented instead is this thing. For example, if we look at the word Christmas right here, let's just say I'm typing Christmas, it turns black, right? Now I mess up a couple times and I hit a couple keys, you get a audio cue, the screen shakes, and the thing gets bigger. I mess up again, it gets even bigger. And then mess up again, it gets even bigger. So it gets pretty straightforward to know which word you're messing up. And then you can finish typing it and it's gone. There's one more thing I'd like to add in the sense where it will tween the size back down because it disappearing is kind of jarring. And then I think the sound it creates is actually pretty set. Oh, wait, is the sound turned off? Let me see. So I put OBS here. Oh, no, you can definitely hear it. Okay, I was trying to make sure. But yeah, so basically those are the changes that are in, and I'd basically like to have better visibility in, right? And I think the sounds are very pleasing to the eye, and it's much easier to know when you mess up now. I'd like to add one more thing where this particular letter that you're hitting also grows in size based off each missed hit, so that it's easier to see when these things are happening. And then from there, I think we might be good in terms of word visibility, at least for now. And then from there, I think from there we'd pretty much be close to done. I just need to add maybe one or two more mechanics to be working the playback system, and then I'll swap in the actual good assets. But things are progressing pretty well, so that's kind of the goal for now. And yeah, I guess the other question to ask is, should we stream game dev? That's kind of been something I've been thinking of. I'm thinking it could be the wave. A lot of cool game dev streamers, so maybe streaming for a little bit could be cool. And then we do the hour of leak codes. Maybe I can squeeze in an hour of game dev there or more whenever I do it, and then it'll just be simpler to just like do the whole thing. Maybe that could be an avenue, but that would be ideal. So yes, so that would be ideal. I'm not big on the streaming thing, but maybe it's the best in terms of making this whole thing make sense, because you got to do the marketing thing and everything now. So that being said, I'm happy with where the game is going. So hopefully we can keep making progress. We have a slightly shorter session today, and then I'll be off work starting Thursday. We have some weekend stuff to do, but from there I have the next week off, and I'm just going to go full tilt and see if we can release it by then. So that would be ideal. We're going to do a 30-minute session today, and I'm just gonna enjoy the Vibions. So small tier goals would be to increase visibility on the individual words hit. And then I'm actually gonna mute the tab so it's not obnoxious. So now the tab is muted. And then from there, the first thing I need to do is break apart typable into, because right now we're printing each word as one piece of text. I'd have to break it apart in its main. I have to break it apart from its core structure, which is a typable indeed. As we can see here, I can go in here and go, it's just one thing. So I need to pretty much break this down to something else. Maybe we should just live on typable itself, and then we'll have a node that it manages. I think that could be ideal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add new entity here called text, and I'm gonna duplicate this one, drag it inside, I'm gonna have to say bet. And we'll probably need a template just for the letter. Font size will be 13. And where it is right now is actually fine, so I'm just gonna make a template. Name it to typable letter. And that's what it'll have to start. And then I think the one thing we have to do is I'll need a couple more of these. That one says B, this one should say E, this one should say T. E is a little off, so hopefully that doesn't become an issue. But this is kind of what I'm going for. Should kind of be what I'm going for. BET. And I think we might have to actually modify the thing itself, because we have some functions that automatically do some stuff already. Pretty much anywhere we do find by name text. Find by name text. So this function right here, we would swap out with this dot build word. And what we would do is basically based off the node's position itself, which I think is just, we're just gonna copy this right here. I'm gonna place it a little bit lower. Basically just place the text there. So we just keep instantiating elements. So for build a word, I think we can just iterate over each letter. We'll change this name to text 1 just for the side-by-side version. So we'll have both in. Entity, right? And then from here, we're just going to say const entity equals this dot app assets dot find. Say dot resource dot instantiate. So we'll say X offset will be equal to 0 to start. And then we'll say, we add the entity, right? Then we're going to set its position, entity.set position is basically going to equal to where the position, where it already is. And actually, we can just do something like this: entity dot plus equals X offset. And I think we can literally, oh no, well, they don't want us to do it that way. We'll say entity.set position actually it's easier to set position, right? Entity.get position dot add, and then we can just add a new PC dot vec3 object, and the X, we're going to add an X offset, right, with no offset to Y and Z, right? And then we'll do X offset plus equal entity, which is a typable letter, right? And on that typable letter is an element component which has a width. Actually, we can just say entity.width, I'm pretty sure. So we should get both of these at the same time. So we can't find text underscore 1. Should be able to now since we applied it. They all just have a B below them. I think it's because typable text starts with a letter. Right, when we create the entity, find component element dot text equals letter. Word is not iterable. It seems like we're only getting the first letter, which I don't understand. Typable letter asset. Let's instantiate. Yeah, something strange here, right? We have S, and we're getting the first letter of every word except for the rest of them. When we look into the typable letter, we look on the templates. It is an entity with an element component for the text that we go and set to a particular value. Now, why wouldn't we be getting the rest of the characters? Oh, we are. I think we actually are. The issue is that we're saying entity.width, which means they're completely off screen. I think if we don't use offset, we should see them all stacked. Right, so I think this is just off. What we'd like to do is say a find that isn't working either. So I'm going to remove this, and then I'm also just going to print X offset as well. And see what we get. Because I'm pretty sure X offset is still 0. So something is off. Element should have a width. If I drag the typable letter on, it should have a width and a height. You copy this, you paste it here, and see what we get when we print. The width is 0. Just realize you don't always have to do find components. When we have a custom component, we can just do entity element.width. I'm just gonna print the whole element and see what we get. Yeah, it says width exists. So why is it saying 0? I don't understand. The word is actually... I'm gonna kill another word. Oh, here it is actually 0. Let's look at the entity. And the element. Well, they're actually all the same width, so maybe we should just make some basic value. And if we ever change the font size, everything gets messed up, but Maybe that's fine for now. So that looks good enough for now. I'm gonna add a note. Letter elements actual width here instead of hard-coded value. Typable words. Typable letters should oh, it is on the lab typable words layer. I think we have to duplicate this element here. Or we can just make this empty text. Oh, I have to undo. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed with this. I think we're spawning stuff way too frequently right now. If we press M, what we want to do is just delete the next child in line. But I think we do have something here with display next state that we were doing before. So I think this is the next thing. Don't need to have space prefix code anymore when letter is destroyed. Delete the topmost letter. So I think we got our goal across, so I think it's okay for us to stop there. And yeah.